God says, your mother who passed away has been trying to tell you something. She is begging you to open this the second you see it. She's closer than you think, and this is her last message for you. God says, sometimes the heart aches in silence, and the eyes carry tears only heaven can see. When someone you love so deeply leaves this world, it can feel like everything within you has been scattered. There are no words strong enough to capture the pain, no comfort deep enough to erase the longing, and no time long enough to forget the love. But right now, in this very moment, you are not alone in your grief, and you are not forgotten in your sorrow. God sees every tear that has fallen, and He knows the depth of your heartache. Even more, He wants you to know that something sacred is unfolding in your life, even if you cannot see it just yet. Type 3333 if you believe. When a mother leaves this earth, her absence creates a silence so loud it can shake the soul. Yet, in that quiet, there is something else, something gentle, something eternal. It is not the end. It never was. There is a whisper that only the spirit can hear, a touch that only the heart can feel. It's her love, still alive, still present, still wrapped around you in ways the world cannot understand. She is not gone, not truly. In the light of God's glory, she has been made whole, and in His mercy, He allows her love to remain near to you, like a soft wind brushing against your cheek or a warm thought rising in the stillness of your day. Sometimes, when you feel a sudden calm, a familiar scent, or the comfort of a memory you didn't expect, that is no accident. That is her. She has been reaching out to you not to bring sorrow, but to offer you peace. She is not lost in the heavens. She is part of them, and God, in His endless love, is allowing her voice to echo softly through moments you might have overlooked. She has something to say, something that has been waiting to reach your heart. She wants you to know that she has never stopped loving you, and not even death could take that away. You may feel weary, wondering if she saw all the good in you before she left, or if she knew how much you loved her, or if she's proud of the person you've become. Let your heart rest, because through the eyes of God she sees more clearly now than ever. She knows your battles, she sees your strength, and yes, she is proud of you. Beyond the veil of this world, her soul is at peace, but her love remains active, wrapped in the mercy of Christ, allowed to reach you through moments like this. Type 1212 if you trust in God. She has been praying in heaven, her spirit gently speaking to the heart of God about you, and God listens, because a mother's love is sacred. He gathers every word she whispers, every plea she lifts on your behalf, and He answers not just in words, but in actions, in blessings, in protection, in healing. You've been carried in prayers you never heard, and strengthened by love you thought you lost. Her message for you isn't wrapped in sadness, but in eternal hope. She wants you to live fully, to walk with faith, and to never give up, even when the road feels too long or the night too dark. Your mother's spirit is closer than you realize. Heaven is not some distant, unreachable place. It is as near as your next breath when your soul is still. She walks beside you in spirit, wrapped in the light of Christ, watching, guiding, and quietly cheering for you with the love that never fades. The pain of her absence may feel unbearable, but it is not permanent. There will be a day beyond this life, beyond the sorrows, where joy will be made whole, and you will see her again. Not as you remember her here, but even more radiant, more alive, more full of light than ever before. But until that day comes, she wants you to know that God has you. Every time you feel weak, He will hold you. Every time you cry, He will comfort you. Every time you wonder if you're still loved, He will remind you with signs, with peace, with grace. And she will be part of that reminder. Her life wasn't lost, it was transformed. Her love didn't end, it grew deeper. And her voice hasn't fallen silent, it is speaking now, through the stillness of this very message. She is saying, don't lose hope, keep going. I am proud of you. I am with Jesus, and I am always with you. Let that truth soak into every hurting place in your soul. Let it bring warmth to the cold places grief left behind. And know this: God is not finished with your story. If you are still breathing, there is still purpose. There is still time for healing, still time for joy, still time to walk in the light your mother hoped you would one day find. She sees you becoming the person God created you to be, and she smiles with a peace only heaven can give. And yet, in the stillness of that silence, there is something sacred unfolding, something you may not see, but you are meant to feel. This message didn't come to cause you more sorrow, but to bring you healing. It came because your mother's spirit has been waiting, patient, gentle, filled with love that has never left you. Type 444 to receive her love. Even though her hands no longer touch the earth, her love has never stopped touching your life. You might not see her, but God has allowed her love to rest upon you like a light breeze through an open window. She moves through your memories, soft and warm, reminding you of who you are and what she always believed you could become. Heaven is not silent. It speaks in the ways we often overlook, in the quiet encouragement of a thought, in a comforting dream, or in a sudden wave of peace that feels like it came from nowhere. But it did come from somewhere. It came from her, and it came through God's kindness. They tried to hide this ancient 9-word prayer for decades, but it's finally been exposed, and those who speak it are seeing money flow into their lives in miraculous ways. Scientists reveal it awakens a neural pathway tied to abundance, joy, and opportunity. It's short, powerful, and life-altering. Thousands are already experiencing relief from debt and sudden wealth. Don't wait, click the link in the description and comments before it's removed forever. You may think of her sometimes when you're alone, and suddenly you remember her laugh, her voice, or the way she held you when everything felt like it was falling apart. Those moments are not just memories. They are gifts. They are ways heaven reminds you that her presence is still near, that she has not left you alone to carry the weight of life. What she once carried with you in her arms, she now carries for you in prayer. What she once gave you in words, she now offers through grace. God hears her voice. He listens as she lifts you up with a love that never fades, even in eternity. He knows the bond you shared was not made just for this world, but for forever. That kind of love doesn't end in death, it only changes form. And in God's mercy, it is allowed to move, to speak, to comfort. She is in His presence, but her spirit still reaches for you. That's what this moment is. That's what this message holds. She wants you to know. She sees you, even now. She sees your struggle, the quiet battles you fight alone, the tears you hide, the doubts that keep you awake at night. She knows you've had moments where you questioned everything, even your faith, even God's plan. She is not disappointed in you. She understands. And in those low places, she has been closer than ever, asking God to lift you, to hold you, to breathe new hope into your tired heart. Every time you felt like giving up but didn't, she was there. Every time you chose to believe again, even with a shattered heart, she saw it, and she thanked God for your strength. Type 555 if you know she's near. You don't need to try to be strong all the time. It's okay to feel the loss, to miss her so deeply it takes your breath away. God is not asking you to hide your pain. He is asking you to bring it to Him, to trust that even this kind of sorrow can be healed in His hands, and your mother's love is part of that healing. She was always your shelter, your comfort, your place of safety. Now, wrapped in the glory of heaven, she prays that you find that same safety in the arms of Jesus. She wants you to live, not just survive. She wants you to wake up each day with the hope that joy is still possible, that peace is still promised, that your life still holds beauty, no matter how deep the ache goes. You were her greatest gift, her heart walking outside her body. And now she watches from the place where all things are made whole, urging you to believe that love has not been lost, it has simply been carried into eternity. This is not just a message from her. It is a reminder from God, too, a reminder that death is not the end and that the grave has no victory over love. Christ defeated even that. Your mother walks in the light of that promise, and she wants you to walk in it too. Don't let your heart close under the weight of grief. Open it to the soft whisper of God's voice, to the warmth of your mother's love, to the miracle of each new day. She would want that for you. You have not been forgotten, not by her and certainly not by God. The pain you carry has not gone unnoticed. The nights you cried alone did not echo into emptiness. Heaven heard them. God gathered every tear. And your mother, she prayed through everyone. You have been more held, more seen, more loved than you ever realized. And this moment now, reading these words, is another way heaven is reaching out to you. She's been trying to tell you for a long time, in the quiet ways only love can speak. She's been waiting for you to hear, to feel, to know. And now you do. You know she is with God, that she is safe, that she is whole. But more than that, you know she is still with you. Not in the way she once was, but in a way that is deeper, eternal, rooted in grace. Her voice may no longer fill the room, but her love still fills your life. The one whose voice you long to hear just one more time. The one whose embrace once felt like safety itself. The grief doesn't always roar. Sometimes it arrives like a whisper, gently folding into your spirit, reminding you that love never truly leaves, it simply finds new ways to stay. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. She has been closer than you think, watching with a heart full of love, now untouched by pain, now glowing with the light of God. In her presence with the Lord, she has been asking, pleading with heaven not just to comfort you, but to reach you, to bring peace where sorrow has settled too long, to bring light where shadows have lingered, and to remind you that nothing, not even death, can sever the bond formed in love. What you're feeling now is not just memory. It's a message, a gentle one, carried on the breath of eternity, whispered into your heart not by accident but with divine purpose. She sees how much you've grown since she left, how much strength you've gathered from the places you thought were empty. She knows how many times you've smiled while silently hurting, how many days you've kept going even when everything inside of you longed to stop. She is proud, not just in the way she was when she was here, but with the clarity and fullness that only heaven allows. There is nothing about you that she has missed. There is no part of your journey that has gone unnoticed. She wants you to remember something she knew when she was still here, something she may have told you, or something she carried in her own spirit, that faith is stronger than fear, and love true, pure. Christ-centered love is never wasted. The love she gave to you was planted like a seed, and it still grows inside you, blooming in the way you care, the way you try, the way you keep your heart tender even after loss. A powerful 9-word prayer once classified by secret agencies has now leaked, and it's quietly rewriting destinies. In under 30 seconds, it reprograms the mind to attract wealth and dissolve scarcity. Users are reporting surprise income, restored hope, and financial peace. But this page might be deleted at any time. Click the link now before it's taken down without warning. When God called her home, He did not take her away to leave you broken. He welcomed her into a place where pain no longer exists and gave her the ability to love you without limits, to pray over you without rest, to walk beside you without ever leaving your side. And in His mercy, He allowed her spirit to be a quiet comfort for you, something you could feel but not explain. That's what this is. That's what she's been waiting for. She needed you to know she's still here, not in body, but in presence, not in form, but in love. Type 1919 to receive miracles. There are times when grief tries to convince you that you've been left behind, that you're walking through life with an empty space no one can fill, but God wants you to know that space is not empty. It is filled with love, with memory, with purpose. Her prayers have covered that space. Her spirit has visited it, and God's grace has sealed it with a promise that you are not walking alone. She wants you to be gentle with yourself. You've carried so much, not just since she passed, but long before that. You've been strong when you didn't want to be, brave when you felt afraid, and faithful even in seasons when you were surrounded by questions. You've done better than you think. She sees that. God sees that. And now it's time to release the guilt, the sorrow, the wondering if you could have done more. She wants you to rest in the truth that she knew your love deeply, truly, without doubt. And she left this world knowing she was loved. Your heart may ache, but it still beats with purpose. There are things God still wants to do through you. There is healing waiting in places you haven't looked yet. There are prayers your mother prayed that are still working their way into your life, silent blessings, rising slowly, gently, like sunlight after a long night. She knows your journey isn't finished, and she wants you to carry her love with you, not as a wound, but as a blessing. Let every thought of her be wrapped in grace. Let every memory be a reminder of God's goodness, not just in giving her to you, but in promising that you will one day see her again. That promise is sure, that reunion will be sweet. But until then, she wants you to live, to laugh again, to feel joy again, to believe that the story isn't over, and that even your sorrow can be used for something beautiful. She is with him, and he is with you, and that makes all the difference. This message is not just from her, and not only for today. It is something you can come back to in the quiet moments when the ache returns. It is a reminder you can hold when doubt tries to creep in, when sadness becomes too loud, when you start to feel like you're forgetting her voice. You're not. She lives on through you, and God makes sure of that. Every act of kindness, every gentle word you speak, every moment you choose love over anger, hope over fear, peace over bitterness, you carry her in that. She is not only at peace, but she is more alive now than ever, more radiant, more full of joy, and more deeply connected to you through the love of Jesus Christ. The tears she once wiped from your cheeks with her hands are now brought before God in prayer, and he receives them with kindness, with tenderness, and with his eternal promise to heal every part of you. Type yes to affirm. You have walked through the valley of sorrow with grace, even when it felt like your legs were trembling beneath the weight. You've risen each morning with the quiet strength of someone carrying more than they speak of. Your mother sees that, not through human eyes, but through the light of eternity, where truth is never clouded and love never dies. She watches, not in sadness, but in awe, as you keep going step by step, still choosing kindness, still offering love, still believing in goodness, even after loss tried to silence all of that within you. There's something sacred about the bond between a mother and child. It begins before your first breath, formed in a silent language of love that no word can fully describe. That bond does not break with death. It stretches across the veil, holding steady in the unseen, kept alive by the hand of God. When she passed, her soul didn't drift into some far-off place, unreachable and silent. No, God, in his mercy, allowed her to remain close, watching over you, interceding for you, and waiting for the moment your heart would be ready to hear what she's been longing to say. She wants you to let go of the guilt, the what-ifs, the questions that come late at night and twist like knots in your chest. She knows how much you loved her. She felt it, even when your words couldn't find the right way to say it. She remembers the way you looked at her with tenderness, the way you held her hand in the quiet, the way you stood strong when your heart was breaking. Those moments mattered more than you'll ever know. They reached her soul, and she carried them with her into heaven. You gave her peace. You gave her love. You gave her everything she needed to let go in trust and rest in the arms of God. She also wants you to stop being so hard on yourself. She knows there have been times you questioned your choices, your path, even your worth. But if she could speak into your life with her new eternal voice, she would tell you how much you matter, not just to her, but to God. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. You are not a burden. You are still the same beloved child she once rocked to sleep, now grown, now enduring, now learning to love again in a world that has changed so much. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. The emptiness she left behind was never meant to be filled with pain. It was meant to be a reminder of how deeply you were loved, and it is through that love and the grace of God that her message is reaching you now. Not in thunder or flashing lights, but in the calm that washes over you as you read these words. You have always been exactly who God intended. Even in your brokenness, even in your struggle, even in the messiness of life, there is beauty in you. There is light. There is strength that doesn't come from you, but from the one who has carried both you and her through every valley. Your mother walks with Jesus now, and he walks with you. What she can no longer do with her hands, she does through her prayers. What she can no longer speak with her voice, she speaks through God's love. That is why you feel her sometimes in the quiet, in the middle of a song, in a warm breeze, in the middle of your tears. That is not your imagination. That is love, alive and eternal, stretching from heaven to earth, reminding you that this connection is not over, it is simply changed. She doesn't want you to live in sorrow. She wants you to live in the fullness of the life that still remains before you. There are people waiting to be touched by your kindness, your story, your strength. There are dreams yet to be fulfilled, smiles yet to be shared, hope yet to be awakened in your soul. And she will be with you through it all, not as a memory you try to hold on to, but as a living part of your heart, alive in your faith, wrapped in the grace of the Savior. Every moment of courage you show, every step forward you take, every time you choose to love again, even when it hurts, she sees it. And she whispers, "Well done, keep going. I'm right here. You are not walking this path alone. You never were." She walks it with you from the other side of time, and Jesus walks beside you now, holding every sorrow and every joy, promising that none of it will ever be wasted. She has never stopped loving you. That love did not end the day she took her final breath. It simply moved into a higher place, where it could stretch beyond time and space, where it could surround you in a way even she could never have imagined while here on earth. Type 2323 if you agree. There is a kind of love so deep, so rooted in God's design, that it cannot be broken, not even by death. A mother's love, when anchored in Christ, is one of those sacred gifts. It lives on in every heartbeat, in every memory, in every moment of stillness, when her presence lingers like a soft light in the corner of the room. You may not see her, but you felt her. That sudden comfort when your tears wouldn't stop. That unexplained peace after a hard day. That moment you almost gave up, but something inside you said, "Keep going." That was her. Through God, that was her. She's been trying to tell you something, not to scare you, not to burden you, but to bring healing to your soul. You've carried her memory like a fragile treasure, afraid that if you let go even a little, you might lose her completely. But what she wants you to understand is that she was never meant to stay frozen in the past. She wants to live in your now. Not as someone you mourn daily, but as someone you celebrate through your courage, your kindness, your faith, and your choice to keep walking even when your heart feels heavy. She sees you in every moment when you choose to love, even after loss. She sees the way you hold others close, how your arms have become a place of comfort for those around you. That warmth you give, that gentleness you carry, it's part of her, living on through you. Her prayers continue, not as echoes but as living, breathing intercessions in the presence of a loving God. And those prayers have power. They surround your life, even now, even here. Type 2020 to claim miracles. She wants you to know how proud she is of the way you've continued. Even in the darkest hours, you've made room for light. Even in heartbreak, you've made room for hope. Even when everything felt uncertain, you have held on. You might not feel strong all the time, but your strength is not in pretending to be okay, it's in your ability to keep trusting God when your heart is aching. That is the kind of faith she always hoped you would carry. That is the kind of resilience that makes heaven rejoice. This is not just a message of comfort. It's a reminder of the love story God continues to write between you and her, even from opposite sides of heaven's veil. What she wants more than anything is for you to live not weighed down by sorrow, but lifted up by love. To step into each new day knowing that she's still a part of your story, not just in memory, but in the ways you choose to carry her love forward, in the way you show compassion, in the way you forgive, in the way you keep your heart open to healing. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow, wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. There are blessings that have reached your life because of her prayers. Some you've already seen, others are still on the way. God has listened to her every cry, and He has answered in ways only heaven can explain. Sometimes, the answer has been peace. Other times, it has been strength. And often, it has come as quiet reassurance that you are not walking through life unnoticed. There is grace on your life that carries her fingerprint, because her love and God's mercy are still working together for your good. When you stand at the edge of your emotions, unsure whether to cry or to keep it all hidden, she hopes you choose to release it, to let the tears fall when they need to let the memories breathe without fear. You don't have to be afraid of forgetting her. She's not something you have to hold on to with force. She's not fading. She's with God. And because of that, she's still with you, in the safest, most permanent way possible. Let this be the moment you stop questioning whether she knew how much you loved her. She did, and she still does. Let this be the moment you stop wondering if you did enough. You did. And she wants you to stop carrying the weight of things you cannot change. God has already gathered those regrets, those unanswered questions, and replaced them with understanding in her spirit. She holds no pain, no anger, no sadness, only peace, and a longing for you to have that same peace here on earth. She is asking you now, gently and with love, to start letting yourself heal, not to forget her, never that, but to remember her with joy instead of sorrow, with warmth instead of aching. Let her love be your strength. Let God's love be your anchor. Let your story continue, not in the shadow of loss, but in the light of everything she gave you: faith, love, resilience, and the reminder that the end here is never truly the end. One day, there will be a reunion. Not just imagined or longed for, but real. You will see her again, and when that moment comes, it will be full of joy so deep it cannot be described. Until then, live in a way that makes heaven smile. Carry her love forward. Yet even there, surrounded by peace and light, her heart remains turned toward you. She is not longing in sadness, but in love, watching your life unfold with a calm assurance that God is holding you exactly where you need to be. Type yes to affirm. There are moments when you may feel like life moved on too quickly after she left, as if the world forgot something sacred. But heaven did not forget. God did not forget. And your mother, certainly did not forget. What you shared was written into your spirit, and nothing can erase it. The quiet strength you carry today was shaped by her prayers long before you ever knew you would need them. The compassion in your heart was formed by her love. The way you still reach for goodness, even when life feels heavy, is a reflection of what she poured into you. She wants you to know that the loneliness you sometimes feel does not mean you are alone. It means your heart is sensitive, capable of deep love, and still open. That openness is a gift, even though it hurts at times. She would never want you to close your heart out of fear of loss. She wants you to live bravely, to love fully, and to trust God even when the path ahead feels unclear. She sees how you've tried to carry everything yourself, and she gently reminds you that you were never meant to walk alone. God walks with you now, just as she once did. Your tears are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of love that was real and meaningful. Every tear you shed has been seen by God, and your mother knows them too. She understands the ache of missing her, but she also understands the hope that comes from faith. From where she stands now, she sees the full picture. She sees how this season, painful as it is shaping you with depth, tenderness, and wisdom. She sees how God is working in quiet ways, even on days when you feel stuck or unsure. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There are blessings moving toward your life that you cannot yet see. Some of them are answers to prayers your mother prayed years ago. Others are prayers she continues to lift in heaven. God has not forgotten a single one. He is faithful, and He works in perfect timing. When the weight feels too heavy, and you wonder how much longer you can carry it, remember that God's strength is not distant. It is present. It flows into you, often through the memory of her encouragement, her belief in you, her quiet confidence that you would make it through. Your mother's message is not one of urgency or fear. It is gentle and steady. She wants you to stop doubting your worth and to stop replaying moments you cannot change. She wants you to forgive yourself for being human, for grieving imperfectly, for struggling, and for needing time. She understands. Heaven has given her clarity, and with that clarity comes compassion. She holds nothing against you. There is no disappointment in her heart, only love and peace. God allowed this message to reach you because you needed reassurance, not because something is wrong. You needed to be reminded that love continues, that faith still holds you, and that the connection between you and her remains unbroken. You are still surrounded by care, still covered by prayer, and still guided by God's hand. Even when you feel uncertain, even when grief resurfaces without warning, you are never abandoned in it. An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. She wants you to know that it is safe to hope again. It is safe to dream. It is safe to smile without guilt. Joy does not dishonor her memory. Joy honors the love she gave you. When you choose life, when you choose healing, when you choose faith, you are living out the legacy she prayed would follow you. Your life matters. Your future matters. And God is not finished with you. The days ahead may still carry moments of sadness, but they will also carry light. You will find peace in places you once only felt pain. You will feel her presence not as a wound, but as warmth. God will continue to reveal Himself through small comforts, quiet reassurances, and moments of calm that arrive just when you need them most. And through it all, your mother remains close, not to hold you back, but to cheer you on as you step forward. She sees how you are learning to live with the ache without letting it define you. She sees how your heart is opening again, little by little, even when fear tells you it might hurt too much. From heaven, she thanks God for every small step you take forward. There are days when grief feels distant, and others when it feels as close as your own breath. Both are part of the journey. Neither means you are forgetting her. Love does not fade because time passes. Love grows quieter sometimes, deeper, more settled into who you are. Your mother wants you to know that she is not tied to your sadness. She does not need your tears to feel remembered. She lives in your laughter, in your kindness, in the way you still choose goodness in a world that can be harsh. That is where she feels closest to you. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. She knows there are moments when you wish she could see something you have accomplished or hear something you wish you could tell her. Those moments can feel especially heavy, but heaven is not blind to your life. She sees more now, not less. She sees your efforts, your growth, your courage, and even your mistakes. She understands the full story of who you are becoming, and she is proud of you in a way that is steady and unshaken. Nothing you do in love is unseen. God has been teaching you how to trust again. Trust in life. Trust in tomorrow. Trust in the idea that joy can return without betraying the past. Your mother supports this work with all her heart. She wants you to know that moving forward does not mean leaving her behind. It means carrying her with you in a way that gives you strength instead of pain. She wants her love to be something that lifts you, not something that weighs you down. There is a peace she hopes you will accept, even on the days when it feels unfamiliar. Peace does not erase grief. It sits beside it, gently reminding you that sorrow is not the only thing that remains. God offers this peace freely, and your mother rejoices every time you allow yourself to receive it. She knows how hard it can be to let go of sadness when it feels like the last connection you have. But she wants you to understand that your connection is stronger than emotion. It is rooted in love, and love does not disappear when tears dry. Type yes to affirm. Your mother also wants you to stop worrying about the future in ways that steal your present. She knows you sometimes feel unsure about where life is heading, especially without her guidance. But she wants you to trust that God is guiding you now. The same God who cared for her, who welcomed her home, is the one leading your steps today. You are not expected to have everything figured out. You are only asked to take the next step with faith, even if it is small. There are moments when you feel her presence most strongly, when you are quiet. In those moments, when the world slows down, you might feel a warmth or a calm that settles over you. That is not coincidence. That is comfort. That is heaven reminding you that love is still active, still present, still near. She is not trying to pull you backward into grief. She is encouraging you forward into life, into healing, into hope. She wants you to remember the joy you shared, not only the sorrow of goodbye. She wants you to smile when you think of her, without immediately feeling the sting of loss. Those memories were meant to be treasures, not wounds. Over time, God will soften them, and your heart will learn how to hold them gently. Your mother is patient with this process. She knows healing cannot be rushed. She knows love needs time to settle into peace. God is still writing your story. There are chapters ahead that will surprise you with goodness. There are moments of joy you cannot yet imagine. Your mother knows this, and she looks forward to watching you step into them. She believes in the person you are becoming, just as she always did. Her belief has not weakened with distance. It has only grown stronger through faith. You may still have days when you feel tired, when grief returns without warning, when your heart feels heavy again. That does not mean you are moving backward. It means you are human, and healing is not a straight path. God walks with you through every turn. And your mother, held safely in His presence, walks with you too, not in pain but in peace. It continues gently, like a river flowing through your life, shaping you, softening you, and teaching you what it means to carry someone forever in your spirit. She knows how much you still miss her, and she wants you to know she has never stopped loving you. Type 222 if you feel her love. A hidden 9-word prayer rediscovered in a sealed government document is now changing everything for those who dare to use it. It activates your brain's forgotten abundance channel, helping you manifest prosperity in ways you've never seen before. The results: cleared debts, growing savings, sudden opportunities speak for themselves. Don't wait until this vanishes. Click the link before it's erased from the internet. She sees you reaching for understanding in the middle of unanswered questions. She hears the thoughts you don't say out loud, the ones filled with wonder and pain and silent prayers. In heaven, there are no barriers between the love she has for you and the peace she now lives in. She has asked God to bring that peace into your life too, not to erase the pain, but to remind you that it doesn't have to lead you anymore. You have walked through sorrow with courage, and that courage has made space for comfort. You might not always feel strong. In fact, some days you may feel like all you're doing is surviving. But your mother sees the strength in simply showing up, getting out of bed, choosing to love again, deciding to believe that today still matters. That is strength. That is what she sees when she looks at you through heaven's eyes, and through God's grace, she is allowed to reach you in ways that words cannot. She speaks now through the quiet nudges of your heart, through peace that doesn't make sense, and through moments that feel too perfectly timed to be coincidence. She's been with you in every season, especially the hard ones. When you faced something that felt impossible and somehow found a way through, that was not by chance. There was help from above, God's hand leading you, and her prayers covering you. Her love, now refined in eternity, has become a steady presence in your life. She's been holding you in ways you never realized, praying over you in ways only heaven allows. Type Amen if you believe. There may have been times when you felt disappointed in yourself, wondering if you've done enough, if you've lived well enough, if you've honored her the way she deserved. Let those questions go now. Let that pressure fall away. She does not carry disappointment, only pride, only peace, only love. She wants you to stop measuring your worth by how well you've handled grief. You don't have to prove anything to her. She knows your heart, she sees your effort, she understands your pain. And from where she is now, she wants you to live with gentleness toward yourself. Your journey hasn't been easy, and your story has carried moments that nearly broke you. But your mother knows what you've overcome. She sees the inner battles you've won, the ones no one else saw. She has watched you pick yourself back up time and time again, even when your heart was still hurting. And for all of that, she is proud. Deeply, endlessly proud. If she could speak clearly to your soul right now, she would say, "You are not lost. You are not failing. You are doing better than you think, and I am with you." These are not empty words. They are truths rooted in love, spoken through the lens of eternity, given to you now because you need to hear them more than ever. God is not letting you carry this alone, and neither is she. Every time you choose to keep going, you are honoring her. Every time you choose to show kindness, to offer forgiveness, to believe in something good, you are carrying her love into the world. That's what she wanted more than anything. Not for you to stay stuck in grief, but to move with her love as your strength. To walk by faith, trusting that heaven is near, and she is never far from your side. She remembers every moment that mattered. The laughter, the tears, the small everyday things that stitched your lives together. Those moments didn't vanish. They live on. And they're not just locked in memory, they're held in your heart, written into your soul. Let them breathe. Let them remind you not just of what you lost, but of what you were so blessed to have. Even now, she is asking God to help you rest, not just sleep, but soul-deep rest, the kind that quiets anxiety, that softens sorrow, that replaces fear with hope. She wants you to feel that rest, to stop carrying what you were never meant to carry alone. God has been beside you all along, and in His mercy, He has allowed her to walk beside you too. Her final message is not about sadness. It is about release. It is about permission. Permission to live, to love, to laugh, to dream again. You don't have to hold back out of fear that you're leaving her behind. You never could. She is woven into everything good inside you, and nothing, not time, not distance, not even death, can remove her from your life. That kind of love isn't temporary, and it isn't limited by the boundaries of life on earth. It is sacred. It is eternal. And in my grace, I've allowed her spirit to remain close, to move gently around your heart, and to speak in the language of peace and presence, even if not in words. Type 555 if you feel her presence today. Your mother has watched over you through moments you didn't even realize you needed her. When you've stood at the edge of decisions, unsure of what step to take, she's prayed that my voice would speak louder than your fears. When you've been overwhelmed by the weight of sadness or confusion, she's whispered your name to me, asking for your comfort, asking for your heart to feel the kind of strength only I can give. You may not have heard her voice, but you have felt her love. You may not have seen her face, but you have carried her within you all this time. There is something she's been hoping you would know, something she's been gently trying to tell you from where she now stands, fully alive in my presence. She wants you to understand that there is no unfinished love between you. There is no need to carry regret. Whatever was left unsaid, whatever burden you've held in your heart, you can release it now. I've allowed her to see the fullness of your love, the things you didn't say, but showed, the silent prayers, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices made out of love. She knows, and she has nothing but peace in her heart for you. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brainwave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever, and every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. Sometimes, when the sun breaks through the clouds just right, or when a quiet moment suddenly feels wrapped in warmth, that's not coincidence. That's a gentle reminder. That's the nearness of heaven making itself known to you. That's her spirit, watching, loving, guiding, not haunting, not heavy but light, gentle, full of the grace I have covered her with. Her soul is at peace, but she is not distant. She is part of your journey still, not as someone who holds you back, but as someone who walks with you in a way only eternity can make possible. Type 1919 to receive miracles. You've been through seasons where it felt like the world expected you to move on too quickly, to be okay when you were still learning how to breathe without her. I see how you've tried. I know how often you've smiled for others, while your own heart ached in silence. I want you to know that I have counted every tear. None have been wasted. And your mother, she's brought every one of them before me, not with sorrow but with love, asking me not to take away your grief all at once, but to shape it into something that would one day make you stronger, softer, more open to love. You've carried a heavy heart with such quiet grace, and I want you to know that it is safe now to begin letting that weight fall away. Your mother does not want your sorrow to define your days. She does not want your memories of her to feel like pain. She wants them to be your comfort. She wants her love to be the reason you smile again, to be the strength you lean on when life feels uncertain. There is still so much beauty left in your story, and she sees it. She is cheering for you, not in a loud, distant way, but in a deep, eternal one. Every time you choose hope, she celebrates. Every time you forgive, every time you take a step forward, every time you decide to believe again, she sees that, and so do I. You've been braver than you know. Even in your brokenness, you have honored me with your faith. Even in your sorrow, you have continued to love. That is what I cherish most, not perfection, but the willingness to keep walking with me, even when the road is hard. Let this be your reminder. You are never walking alone. I am with you. And your mother's prayers still cover your life, still rise up to me, filled with hope and love. There is more ahead for you, more peace, more joy, more moments where you will feel whole again. The ache will soften, the tears will slow, and one day, without even realizing it, you'll find yourself laughing without guilt, dreaming without fear, and loving with a heart that feels safe again. She would want that for you. She would want you to live, to really live, not just survive, to trust that love can still grow in the places that were once filled with grief, to believe that I can take what broke you and make something beautiful out of it, and I will. So rest now. Let go of the questions that weigh you down. Let go of the fear that you'll forget her. You won't. She's a part of you woven into your story, into your soul. What she gave you in love was never temporary. It was rooted in me. And that means it is eternal. I was there in the stillness after her final breath. I was the one who caught your soul when it felt like it was slipping into darkness, and I have never left. Your mother's spirit, now resting peacefully with me, has been watching with a heart full of love and a desire so strong for you to feel peace again, for you to know that her love did not die, and that this message would finally reach you. Type 2323 if you agree. She's been asking me, again and again, to bring comfort to you. She doesn't want your heart to stay buried in grief. She wants you to rise not away from her, but toward the life she always prayed you would live. A life filled with purpose, a life wrapped in faith, a life that remembers her not with pain but with hope. The kind of hope that says, I was loved deeply and I still am. Her love is not a memory frozen in the past. It is alive because I am the God of the living. Her love lives on in you because my spirit keeps what is holy. You've been holding on with so much strength, even when it felt like you had none left. You've faced days where just getting through was a victory. And she knows that. She sees how much you've carried, some of it visible, some of it too deep for words. Your heart has been aching for assurance. And today, heaven gives it to you. You are doing better than you believe. You have not failed her. You have not disappointed her. You have loved her well, even in her absence. And now, she wants you to love yourself with that same tenderness. She remembers the simple things, the way you smiled at her when words weren't needed, the way you cared for her, even when you were afraid, the way you held her hand during the hard days. Those moments were sacred. They remain alive in her spirit, bathed in light, wrapped in peace. They are part of the eternity she now lives in. If you're wondering whether she knew how much you loved her, the answer is yes. She knew, and from where she is now, she sees even more than she ever could before. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money attracting frequency. And once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. This is more than an offer. It is a divine turning point. Your destiny is waiting. But only if you choose to move now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brainwave today. This message isn't just for comfort, it's a turning point. Your mother has been trying to reach your heart, not to bring sadness, but to help you live again. The part of you that shut down when she left doesn't have to stay closed forever. There is still life waiting for you. There are still moments meant to bring you joy, and she doesn't want you to miss them. She wants to see you smile, not forced or empty, but real, from the soul. She wants you to feel the warmth of love again without guilt. She is no longer in pain. She is free from every worry, every fear, every burden. But she carries the fullness of her love for you in a new way, stronger, purer, more complete. And in my mercy, I've allowed that love to stay near you, to speak through this message, to be felt in your spirit like a soft wind across your face or a sudden calm in the middle of the storm. That is her. That is love. That is me, bringing it to you because I knew you'd need it today. You may think about her every day, sometimes with tears, sometimes with peace, sometimes both. That's okay. There is no right way to grieve. What matters is that you're still here, still moving, still choosing to believe that love is stronger than death. Because it is. Because I made it that way. Because her love was not temporary, and her soul did not vanish. She is alive with me, and she rejoices every time you take another step forward. Your journey has not ended. It is still unfolding, and I have good plans for you. Plans not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future. She believed in you when she was here, and she still does. She sees your strength, not just in your victories, but in your willingness to keep trying, to keep trusting, to keep holding on to me, even when everything inside you feels broken. She is proud of you. Not because you've handled everything perfectly, but because you've kept going. And she wants you to keep going, not just to survive, but to live, to find joy again, to laugh deeply, to love freely, to walk in faith even when the path looks uncertain. She wants you to know that her love and my love are enough to carry you through anything. Look at how, even with the weight of sorrow, you still long to understand, still choose to believe, still search for comfort. That's not weakness. That is a strength woven together by grace and love, hers and mine, working together to bring you to this very moment of truth. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Your mother's final message has always been waiting for the right time, and this is it. This is the moment she's been hoping for. The moment when your heart would be open enough to feel what she's been trying to send, and still enough to hear what she's longed to say. She is not lost to you. Her soul didn't disappear into silence. It stepped into a place where love becomes eternal, where peace never ends, and where the deep longing you feel will one day be answered fully in my presence. She's been with you in ways you didn't realize. When you were overwhelmed but somehow kept going, that was her prayer being answered. When peace washed over you without reason, that was her love, wrapped in my spirit. When you made a decision that felt just right, even if you didn't know why, that was her whisper, reminding you that you are not alone. Her love has not left your story. It's been quietly shaping the pages, one breath at a time. She wants you to stop holding on to guilt like it's your responsibility to carry what went unsaid. She knows now what your heart never got the chance to explain. I've allowed her to see everything clearly, your love, your struggle, your tears. She doesn't need you to explain anything. She needs you to rest in the truth that she knew, she still knows, and she loves you more now than ever before. She also wants you to know that your healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means trusting. Trusting that your connection is deeper than memories, more alive than any goodbye, and anchored in me, the one who holds both your heart and hers. There is no goodbye in me, only reunion. Only grace. Only the kind of love that endures through storms, through silence, through death, and comes back stronger. Type Amen if you believe. The ache you feel is not a sign that something is broken forever. It is a sign that something sacred was shared, and that it still lives. It's a reminder that her love was real, and that you are the living proof of it. Every good thing you do, every kind word, every gentle choice, every brave decision, you carry her with you in all of it. That's what she wants for you. Not to live in grief, but to live through love. Not to look back in sorrow, but to move forward with her peace resting over you. She sees the fears you still carry. She hears the thoughts you keep quiet, the ones about your future, your family, your purpose. She wants you to stop being afraid. She knows now that everything will unfold in time, that nothing is outside of my hands, and that the things you think are lost are already being made new. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You only need to be open to me, to healing, to joy returning in unexpected ways. Let go of the pressure to hold everything together. Your mother didn't want that weight for you, and neither do I. I created you to walk with me, not to carry burdens alone. I placed people in your life who need your light and your love, and I promise there is still so much ahead for you. You have not seen your last blessing. You have not laughed your last laugh. You have not felt your deepest peace yet. There is more, and she knows it. She's seen it. After decades in government lockdown, a short 9-word phrase has resurfaced, and those who whisper it daily are experiencing miracles of money and freedom. Researchers say it switches on a hidden abundance circuit in the brain, the same one billionaires unknowingly rely on. It's easy, fast, and astonishingly powerful. Click the link before this rare discovery is censored again. What your mother wants now more than anything is to see you free. Free from regret, free from fear. Free from the belief that your best days are behind you. They are not. There are beautiful days ahead. Days when you will feel her smiling over you. Days when you will know, without a doubt, that she's near. Days when her legacy of love will shine through your words, your eyes, your spirit, and it will touch others who need to feel the love of God through you. She never stopped believing in you. She never stopped praying for you. And here with me, she rejoices in every step you take, every burden you lay down, every moment you choose to trust again. You are not lost, my child. You are not forgotten. You are surrounded by grace, lifted by prayers, and held by a love that death cannot touch. You have loved well. You have grieved honestly. You have survived more than you thought you could. And now, my beloved child, I want you to breathe, really breathe, and know that she has been with you through it all, and she's never stopped trying to show you just how close she still is. Type 2020 to claim miracles. You may not have heard her voice, but she has spoken to you through peace. You may not have seen her face, but she has looked upon your life with awe, with pride, with the kind of joy that only heaven understands. She never wanted to leave you with unanswered questions. She never wanted you to carry the weight of wondering if she's okay, or if she's watching, or if she truly knows how much you still love her. That's why I've brought you here, to these words, because it's time to let your heart receive the answer. She is at peace, she is whole, and yes, she knows. She knows your love, she knows your pain. She knows every tear that has fallen in the quiet of your room when no one else was around to see. And every single time, she has asked me to hold you a little closer, to remind you in some way that you are not facing life without her spirit nearby. Her love, my child, has only grown stronger on the other side. It's not a memory, it's alive. Because I am the God of life, and everything rooted in my love cannot die. There have been moments maybe while walking alone, or hearing a certain song, or looking at something that reminded you of her when a calm came over you, a quiet that felt deeper than silence. That wasn't random. That was a moment of presence. A moment where she stood near, where heaven brushed against your soul, where her love, refined in my glory, reached across the veil and touched your life.